it's me, Danielle Denny Buttons, and I'm back. It's been about 2 weeks since I filmed anything, so I think when you see this, I'll have put up a video 2 days ago, but it's actually been a long time. I'm going to do another challenge video, so I'm going to pick, and then I'll get to talking while I'm coloring. These are the 2 challenges I've already completed. Let's pick a new one. I think I'm going to do 5 and then put them back in because, again, I don't want to just pick the same ones over and over again when there's like 15 choices in there. So, my eyes are closed and I'm covering it anyway. Let us pick, dig deep, this one. Color outlines. Okay. I have a plan, or I had an idea. Let me pick my picture and I will be right back. Sorry for the glare. I think we're going to use Guardians of the Enchanted Forest by Forest Diver. And this is a Julia Rivers coloring book, so they are on Amazon. My nails, always my pointer fingers, are trash. I apologize. Julia Rivers, she's on Amazon. This book was probably around $7. So, I think I didn't mean to buy this book when I bought it. There's 2 very similar books out right now, and I don't know if I love this, but I think this will be perfect for this challenge. So I'm going to flip through and pick my picture with you. First of all, I have the window open. It's finally cool out, and I was hoping to get some fresh air, but it is windy, so I'm not sure if you can hear that. Second of all, I had my dental surgeries, so I kind of have a lisp. I'll talk about that more as I go. All right, so let us first pick a picture. So to me, what color outlines means is that's it. I'm only going to trace the outline of whatever page I pick and not actually color in the picture. So that, I think, will be really good in this book because there's so many details that it will kind of help to make it more minimalist. I think my problem with this book, hopefully you're seeing as I flip, is that every page feels similar. And I don't love that because it's a lot of woodsy stuff and tons of leaves. And I just sometimes have trouble coloring. Like, I can't make myself color these trees orange. Like the trunks, they have to be brown. And obviously, when every page is trees, that's no fun. So, I have no idea how long this is going to take me because I've never done this before. So, this may be a 1-parter or this may be a 2-parter, but we'll see. I think I'm going to try to film as long as I can because, again, got the house to myself, So, this is a nice book. Like, I like it, but it's not really my style. So, I'm glad to be using it for right now, though. Oh, she's cute. Oh, I'm out of fingers. Do I want both of these? As I'm flipping, I stick my finger in where I think I might want stuff. So, I'll get rid of her. I'm trying to pick a picture, or I'm trying to think about picking a picture that has more room for color. All right, so should I just go with this troll? I think I'm gonna go with this troll. Oh, is he a troll? What are these guys called? Do you know? I'm not sure. But we're going with it because I can do fun colors. I also might pull out my new Color It glitter pens to do those gems because that might be really cool. So we'll see. I have my Crayola Super Tips next to me. And I have a proof of our wedding invitation as my junk paper today. So here we go. Let me show you what I mean by outline. So where should I start? I'm thinking of making these trees this dark color. great. This might be a little hard to do. Oh, yeah, this is rough. With the camera right in front of my face. So that's fun. And also, this may come out terrible. I haven't done this since I was a child, so I'm not sure what's gonna happen. But I just think this used to be my favorite style of coloring. Everything I did, I would do a dark outline and then I would color it in light. But I'm not even coloring it in light today. It's kind of hard to see the coloring. I'm not sure if that's my lighting or what. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. Hopefully that's good. Every time I touch my phone, everything gets wiggly. So, yes, I had my dental surgeries. Basically, I had to get the same thing done on both sides, so they had to do it in 2 different rounds, and it was a week between each. The first round was terrible. I was in so much pain for days. In fact, the first round still hurts, and it sucked. So, it's just not fun. I feel like mouth injuries are some of the most annoying. Like, they're not the worst. Obviously, there's much worse things out there, but they're annoying because you know how hard it is to just, like, ignore your mouth and, like, not run your tongue over things and how to eat different. It's terrible. So, I was miserable for a whole week. And then the second half, I guess, happened 2 days ago. And I have almost no pain at all. Like I said, I think the first half hurts more than the second still. So, that's weird, I guess. It was 2 different doctors because the dentist I go to, there's just multiple choices. And the second lady was much more gentle. So maybe that's what happened. He was rough, the first guy. And she was gentle. But I'm on the road to recovery because I'm trying to get all dental work done before the wedding. So we are at 51 days until the wedding. I'm in the terrible time that I have to wait for people to RSVP. I think I've mentioned this in a week or 2 ago, my last videos, but please RSVP to things when you're invited, even if it's a no. Like, I don't care if people, I mean, I do care if people can't come, but I'm not, like, going to hold it against anyone if you have something else to do. So, if you can't come, say no. If you can come, say yes. Don't just torture me for weeks. It just is always so silly to, not silly, but it's surprising to me because I feel like rarely am I not sure. I usually know right away if I'm coming to something or not, especially a wedding. This isn't like, oh, a birthday party that it's not a big deal and it's just in my house and what, like, this is a wedding. Just say yes or no. Just answer. So, I got 44-ish answers already. And I'm technically waiting on like 70 more people. That's a lot. That's more than half haven't answered yet. And again, I know a bunch of them are no's. I'm expecting them to be no's. So just tell me. Yes, and since we are at 51 days to the wedding, that means we're at less than 60 to the honeymoon. So I got to reserve my fast passes for Disney. If you are not a Disney connoisseur, expert, I don't know, if you don't care about Disney, if you stay in the resorts, any of the resorts, you can book fast passes 60 days before your trip. And fast passes are just like cut the lines for the rides. So you can book 3 a day. And I had to get up I tried to get up, I set alarms for like 6:30 in the morning, but I slept through them. So I ended up getting up at like 7:10. So, which for some people might not be early, but I go to bed at like 2. So 7's rough. I usually wake up when Sam goes to work, and he either goes in early he'll leave at 8:10, or he goes in late and he'll leave at like 9:30. So that's my schedule for waking up normally. Okay, 1 second. Let's take a time out and pick a different color. I'm going to pick, I don't know. I want to do more leaves. Maybe all these wiggly things. Let's see what this color is. I like it. All right. I'm going to do some wiggly things. So I had to wake up at early in the morning to get our fast passes. Ooh, I pressed too hard and made a mess. Yeah, this is rough. I gotta be lighter with my touch. But it's really stressful to do fast passes because you're essentially like planning your day 2 months early. And I've said this before, I'll say this again and again and again and again. I love to plan in advance to combat indecision when we're there. Because my least favorite thing is when you're either like on vacation or you're like doing something with the group or whatever it may be, and you kind of go, oh, what do you guys want to do? And everyone's just like, I don't know, what do you want to do? And then you spend an hour and everyone's just going, but what do you want to do? So what I like to do is plan to the minute beforehand. And then if things change, you roll with it then. Like, obviously, if we get there and don't feel like eating at Pinocchio House, we'll just eat somewhere else. You know? You know what I'm saying? But at least if we're like, what do you want to do? I can open my little schedule and say, oh, we're supposed to eat at Pinocchio House at 7:30. So, I may be strange that way. I know my cousin is the exact opposite of me, and she hates planning things because she just loves, like, freedom of choice, I guess, is how you could say it. I'm not sure if that's really the best wording, but she loves to be spontaneous. So she'll, like, plan, I'm going to California, and then once she gets there, she'll be like, what should we do? Let's just go find a cool place to eat. And I can't do that, so. Different strokes for different folks. That's the saying, right? So I picked our fast passes is the moral of that story. And I started ordering some stuff. I ordered us Mr. and Mrs. shirts for Disney. That should be really cute. And they like have the ears on them. And I ordered us matching Christmas shirts because we have tickets to Mickey's Christmas party. And I'm planning on ordering us, I ordered us a autograph book that says Our Disney Moon. I'm excited. So, what else have I done since I've been gone? I just signed up for Scribd. Scribd is a audio book. It's like a book lending service. I think they do ebooks also. They actually, I know they do ebooks, and they also do sheet music. I thought that was pretty cool. I don't need it because I don't know how to play an instrument, but it's cool if you do know and want to do it. So what Scribd is it's $8.99 a month, and you get unlimited access to their stuff, but it's unlimited asterisk because there are certain restrictions. So basically, you get unlimited whatever you choose, but certain books have limits. So for instance, what's a really popular book? Oh, also Harry Potter's not on there, in case that's a question, because I asked that before I joined. But let's say, I'm trying to think of what's currently popular. I'm gonna I don't know if this is one of them, but let's say Big Little Lies by Liane Moriarty. Maybe a lot of people are reading that because they came out with the HBO series. So since that's a popular book, maybe that book can only be read 1,000 times in October. I'm making the numbers up, obviously. So if you are the 1,002nd person to try and read it, you have to wait till November. But you can read all her other books while you wait, because those other ones may not be as popular. You know what I'm saying? So it's mostly unlimited. And I've already listened to 2 books completely, and I'm in the middle of my 3rd book, and I'm really enjoying it so far. I really like audiobooks because, one, sometimes I just need a break from YouTube. Either I've watched everything, like all my people I've subscribed to, or I just need a break. And 2, I need sound always. So if I'm like home alone and want to read books that I own physically, I have a hard time doing that because I need the sound. And I can't focus if I like have music on reading. So my plan with Scribd is to download audiobooks for books I physically own. And then if I have it in my hand, I can put it on double speed and then read as I'm listening. And I'm really excited. Because also, if you saw my book haul, I buy a lot of library books, so they're like $0.25. So I don't mind if I listen to them as audiobooks instead. And also, I want to get through them because, I got it because I was excited for it. So right now, I'm listening and reading Good Omens by Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett. I actually got this in California last year, almost a year to the day. I think it was 3 days ago and a year. We went to visit my friend, my basically first best friend. I met her in, I want to say 1996 when I was 7 years old. And she now lives in California. And we went to visit her last year. And she took us to this bookstore. I think it's called The Last Bookstore. I hope I'm remembering that correct. And it is in Los Angeles. And it's humongo. And there's lots of cool book sculptures in there. And lots of used books that they sell for cheap. And I got that book there. So, it's been a year. I think it's time to read it. I also think they're making this book into some sort of TV adaptation. So, and then the other 2 books I listened to on Scribd already. One was This Round's on Me. It's like a YouTuber book. I don't know how people feel on those, but it's Mamrie Hart. I watch her on YouTube. But I actually like the idea of listening to YouTube books instead of buying them, because most of the time they're like memoirs and they're short anyway. So I have trouble spending full price on short books, which may be silly, but that's how I feel. So, what else? And then I listened to Agatha Christie's Halloween Party. It is a Hercule Poirot mystery. Apparently, it's number 39 in the series of Hercule Poirot. But I really like Agatha Christie. Or I am trying to like Agatha Christie. I haven't read that many. I think last year was the first time I had read her. I love mystery books and thrillers and things like that. So I finally read her last year. I read And Then There Were None. And then I read Murder on the Orient Express, which are obviously her two most famous stories. And then anytime I saw her books at book sales, I started to buy them. So when I saw people recommending Halloween Party, I was like, oh, that makes sense. Let's do that. So I listened to Halloween Party, and I really enjoyed it. I read the reviews after I listened to it, and people were like, this isn't your best work. But I thought it was good. So it's funny, though, because the first Hercule Poirot book was published in 1921, I think. And this one that I just read, Halloween Party, which is almost the last one, was published in 59 or 69. So there was a lot of time between those stories. And they do make references to him being older, but I can't imagine he's like 50 years older. So I thought that was pretty cool because, like, you can kind of, there was somebody was referenced as like, oh, you're like a computer. And obviously, I doubt in the 1920s they were making computer references. So I thought that was cool. And they kept saying kids today, and that made me laugh too, because at this point, that's still 60 years ago. So kids today are not like they are today. So yes, I think I might try to listen to one Agatha Christie every month. There's already a Hercule Poirot Christmas book that I'm going to listen to. I saved it on Scribd, and I don't know if my birthday is in November, but I don't know if there's any birthday ones. So I'm going to have to look into it. All right, so here we go. I think this is coming out really cool. I think I'm going to try to work on the gems. Let's do some sparkle colors. I don't know if I showed this in video yet. This is really zoomed in. I forgot. Okay. I got the Color It gel pens. Basically, I was feeling kind of down after my first dental thing, and I was like, I'm gonna treat myself. So this is 48, I want to say. Is that too many? A whole bunch of gel pens, and they're all glitter, and they are fabulous. Let me show you the color chart. I swatched them out. What's awesome, this was $25. It came with the 48, it came with the case, and it also came with 48 refills. So every single pen has a refill, which I love because I feel like gel pens sometimes go down so quickly that I avoid using them. But they all also have names, and I think that's awesome because none of my other gel pens have ever had names. So here's some of the swatches. Let's see if you can catch the light. Like, how gorgeous are all of these? Amazing. I might do Glacier for my gems. Maybe I'll do multiple colors. Maybe I'll do Glacier. No, I was going to say Peridot because that's an actual gem. I could use Sapphire. Maybe I'll do Glacier and Sapphire. I know Glacier is not a gem, but I used Amethyst recently, and I just love that blue. So I'm going to do Glacier and Sapphire. But they're so shiny. Oh my goodness. So I highly recommend these if you're in the market for some gel pens. Because I feel like $25, you get the case. Look at this case. Such a good deal. So, I don't have a plan. Should I just alternate? Sure. I'm going to keep you zoomed out, I think, because these are a pretty big gem. And they also write really well. Out of the 48, I had a problem with one of them. But I think I will be able to get it to work. I just was being impatient. So I ended up switching it with the refill. And I'll deal with that on another day. So just being honest about that. I also really like it because in the past, the gel pens that I've had, if you draw over the line, it like erases the line. And that's not always what I want. So with this one, if you accidentally go over the line is still there, which is useful because you don't have to be as careful. I don't know if that's the truth about every color, but so far, that's what I've encountered, so. Like, can you see how sparkly they are already? Ooh, I love it. So. Yes, Hercule Poirot. I also want to read Miss Marple, which is her other character. I don't know. I just like her writing because I love mystery books. It's funny, though, because some of her stuff I felt like was predictable. I'm like, ugh, this is predictable. This is the same old stuff. Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, wait a second. No, it's not. She basically invented all this stuff. Like, she started it all. So everyone else is copying her. So I thought that was fun to realize. So, yes, I see we are fast approaching half an hour. Also, why did I just skip a whole bunch of lines? I don't know. So I think I'm going to go for about 45 minutes today. And then finish up in a part 2. Because we're not close. So hopefully 2 parts will be all we have to do. Do you like multi-parts? I think I just asked this in the last video because I just put that one up. So I watched it to edit it a little bit. But do you like half-an-hour videos? Do you like finishing the picture in one sitting? What do you like? I like the half-an-hour because I like to... It's much quicker and faster and nicer to edit and upload, which obviously that's a my end deal, so whatever. But I also know, I love long videos, but I also know it's intimidating if you like to watch somebody and then you miss their long video. Like, for instance, Anne from A Colorful Life. I always like to shout her out because she's basically the only color tuber I watch her color in chats right now, just because of timing. So I watch as many people as I can, like their monthly reviews and things like that, but gotta pick and choose with my color in chats for the time being. And she recently has been doing a half-an-hour format, and I like it because then if I miss a day, I can just watch 2 episodes back to back. Instead of worrying about if I miss a day and the videos are each 3 hours long, it's much harder to catch up. So, you let me know, though, if you like long or short. I know with my last one, I kind of got caught at the end that I didn't really have 2 full half hours left. So, I, like, combined them together. And that might have ended up weird, I'm not sure. So. This is so shiny and I'm so happy in real life. Yes, all that to say, I like Scribd. Let me know if you want to join. I think I can, like, link it down below. And it's possibly one of those deals that, like, oh, if you sign up, we both get a free month or something. But I'm not sure. Otherwise, you can just type it in if you're interested. I like to listen to it when I'm coloring, too, because sometimes I'll color with the TV on, and I'll look up at the TV instead of focusing on the coloring. So with an audiobook, there's nothing to look at. So that's cool. So that's enough about that. All right. So I keep saying so. I don't know if I'm saying it out loud, but I'm definitely saying it in my head over and over again. So. I have my iPad next to me still with the questions from last time. If we want to keep going on that. But I'm being honest, I don't remember what question I last answered. Because the last question on here, it like saved my space, but I don't remember if I scrolled. So the last question on here is, what's your favorite childhood memory? And I kind of remember being like, I'm going to answer that next time. Like, that sounds like something I would do. But that's such a loaded question because I feel like, how can you really sum up your childhood memories to one thing? So I guess I can talk about a few things that stand out that I remember off the top of my head. And also, I always like, when does childhood end when you're talking about it? Because I moved for the first time when I was 7. So a lot of times when I think of childhood, I think of before I moved. But also being that young, I don't have as many memories from then overall. So one thing I remember fondly is the blizzard of 1996. Does anyone else remember that blizzard in the Northeast? That was probably my first like big blizzard, or definitely the first blizzard I can remember. I was 7 years old-ish, and I just remember we lived in an apartment complex at that time. So all of the cars were parked behind the apartment, like down a hill. And we had to go somewhere because, So my mom and I went out to dig out her car. And she thought it would be funny to try to make a snow angel. And then she ended up getting stuck because the snow was that deep. So we're like cleaning off her car and she's like, guys, get me out. And it was just really funny. And then our apartment was across the street from a Chinese food place and like a convenience store. So we like walked across the street to get food instead of driving for that. And I'm walking and my parents are like, stand up. What are you doing? Don't crawl. I'm like, I am standing up. And the snow was just that deep that it looked like I was crawling. And I don't know why, but I just forever remember that as a good time. My mom was pretty awesome. And she's like everything I wish I was. But she was she went to school and had a degree in special education teaching. And then she did that in New York. So she was licensed for that in New York. And then she never got licensed for that here. But she would tutor, and she would teach that's tutoring. She did direct tutoring. She did like after school tutoring. She taught preschool for a while. She was extremely creative and awesome and like super spontaneous. And again, everything I am not. So I was so shy as a kid. But I remember one day we were just like hanging out, doing whatever. And she's like, you want to paint rocks? I'm like, what? She's like, let's paint rocks. So we went outside at like 10 or 11 at night and collected a bunch of rocks. And then we painted the rocks. And it was just super cool. Because unfortunately, she left us too soon. But fortunately for me, I got a lot of awesome memories in the times we had. So we would always do things like that, though. And she was always like the best gift giver ever. This is another thing I wish I could do as well as her. I mean, it might be in part that I was really easy to get gifts for because like I was a stationery nerd and like whatever. But I remember the first time she went away, she went to visit my uncle who lived in Colorado, and I was home with my dad. And it was like the first time we were home for a week together. So she had these goodie bags that every night I got to pick 2 things. One, it was like little treats. It was like little candy bars, little cookies, whatever. And then the other one was like toys. But by toys, I mean literally once was a date stamp. One was those pencils that you put the tip in the bottom to like sharpen it, quote unquote. And I was like, this is awesome. So one was like a rocket, and it was like one of those fake, like you just step on the like air pack and then the rocket shoots up. And I just thought that was so cool. And it was so much fun, and every day I would look forward to opening my present. And she was so good about, like, the week before my birthday, she'd give me a tiny present every day leading up to it. It's like a countdown. And, like, she filled my stocking. She was the best at that. There's so many gems that I'm just, like, noticing. But, okay, we're going to keep going. So, she was a great gift giver. And I remember, like, the first time I stayed, like, I walked home from school alone. And I was home for about, I want to say, an hour after school. She had left gifts for me then. And it was cute. She worked next to a Morning Glory, I think it was the name. It's like sells Sanrio products, like Hello Kitty products. But I think the chain is called Morning Glory. But she bought this little glue stick, but it looked like a chapstick. She's like, don't put it on your lips. And it was funny, and it was so cute. And she would always just leave. She always would put, like, notes in my lunchbox. And those are probably all my favorite memories wrapped up. Was just all the creative stuff she did. So, awesome. My dad tries real hard too, and he's like a good gift giver. He always knows the good big gift to get you. So like he always would be the one to like get me the new video game or to buy the laptop. But he is funny with smaller stuff. My first Christmas that he was in charge, like after my mom passed and he did the stocking, he got me like a tape dispenser for Scotch tape and batteries and like a hairbrush. So like it's all useful and it's nice, but it wasn't the quality as my mama. So yeah. And my mom was also really bad at waiting to give gifts because obviously we used to shop not the day before Christmas, obviously. So the gifts would be in the house and we'd just be sitting there and all of a sudden she'd be like, oh, fine, open a gift. I'd be like, what? She'd be like, you're gonna ask, so just do it. And I'm like, I'm just sitting here watching TV. But it was funny because I'm like that now and I like, it's hard because I like shopping early to make sure everything's done, but then I sit and I'm like, oh, I gotta tell you what I got you. This is killing me. So. In that way, we're the same, so that's nice. Okay, I said, see, I have a lisp still. One more sip of water, hold on. I think I'm going to end here for now because that's a good spot to end, right? Should I do one more color? All right, I'll do one more color, maybe. I think I'm just gonna keep doing more greens. Is that boring to watch? Maybe. But see what I'm talking about? Like, if I did this, actually, this is so much green. And I just think that all these pages would just be green, 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 green. So. But I really like how it's coming out so far. What do you guys think with like the minimalist approach? If we can call it that. Which obviously I am calling it that. So this has been another fun challenge already. So I'm really enjoying my challenge jar. I know a few of you said you were going to do your challenges with me. And that's awesome. Because I just think, I mean, obviously I love coloring. But sometimes I'm just like, ugh, I don't know what to do next. So when I have those moments, I turn to my little jar. So if you have done the jar and come up with new challenges that I didn't mention back in my video, let me know. Some people have already, and they've come up with awesome ones that I can't wait to put in the jar. But I am waiting because I need to find more yellow paper, because it'll be pretty obvious what they are if the paper doesn't match. So, or I'm gonna wait till I have enough that I can just put a second color paper, and then you'll be like, oh, this could be one of 8 things. So. Oh, Amazon says my packages are coming. I ordered a whole bunch of wedding stuff for Amazon, and from Amazon, not for Amazon. And it was like, do you want to do 2-day shipping, or do you want to ship in as few packages as possible? And I'm like, let's ship in as few packages as possible, because sometimes Amazon puts it in like giant containers and there's like one tiny thing in there. I'm sure everyone has experienced that. So I was like, I'll be reasonable, because I think I got 9 items. So I was like, I'll ship in as few as possible. So they're all seeming to come today. Cool. But I'm getting 6 different notifications. So that's possibly 6 different packages coming. And I don't understand. Because why did you ask me if you were just going to do what you want anyway? I don't know. But it claims that my packages are 8 stops away. I think it's cool when they do that, but also creepy. So, and now sometimes have you gotten that they take a picture of where they left it? I also do like that, though, because they'll say it's delivered, and I'll be like, no, where is it? Once they delivered a shirt to my neighbor, and like he wasn't home when they said it was delivered, so I didn't like knock on his door, but we looked at the outside of his house and couldn't see anything. And I was like, oh no, they said it's delivered and it's not. And I like complained to them and got refunded. And then he came over like 4 days later and he was like, oh, I found this. He's like, I'm sorry, I only check my mail on Saturdays. And I'm like, what? Doesn't make sense. Because we have like, where we are, all our mailboxes are attached to our houses. They're not like on the street. Like the mailman walks to our door. So I'm not sure how he didn't see a package for a week, but he gave me the shirt back. So that was nice. This is so much fun. I really like it. Okay, stopping there for part 1. I'll be back with part 2. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you want to see part 2. Maybe you'll get notified that it's ready. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.